Black Dragons are going to be banning out the first operator here. What do you expect here?
Well, as I said, I mean, I think they've got to start thinking of not really massively what they want to go against as their normal refusals, but what they can do to take out of a paiN team that decimated them on the previous map. They've got to start thinking about this as more pointed, more, I don't want to face that. So hopefully that reflects well in their picks. Otherwise, I don't know, as you said, it could be another flawless Lion as the first to go.
Yeah, not really any surprises there at all. Lion being pretty key to the anti-Roma strategy that comes out in Oregon. Oregon all about the Roma game. Maybe paying game, maybe ban at the Habana here. But actually could be the Ying ban. So not completely out there either. Ying, very popular ban indeed coming out on these maps. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that at all. We're going to see the first defense ban. Probably going to be a mirror coming out from paiN Gaming, considering that they banned a mirror last time, and yet they will indeed ban the mirror out. And I think that we'll probably see the clash coming out here from Black Dragons, but could easily be an Echo or a Maestro as well. But we saw a decent amount of Maestro and Echo usage from them, so I would imagine the clash. And yeah, there we go. It is indeed going to be banning out. So there are our operator bans, Lion, Clash, Ying, and Mirror. We'll see how Map2 is going to get underway. Black Dragons still unable to find a round on the board yet. Let's see how they do in their first defenses. Don't forget that Oregon does tend to be more defender-sided than attacker-sided.
They did opt for the defense as well. They opted to want to take the first 5 defense. Obviously, they're more confident on this. This is their map. This is where they want to bring the fight to. It is the pick system rather than the complete ban system. But we'll have to see how that translates into, well, hopefully into confidence more than anything. Echo, Jaeger, Maestro, Valk, and Smoke heading down to Laundry and Supply. Dockerby, Habana, Jackal, Twitch, and Ash currently set up to try to take it, though the 6th pick of Echo to Mute. They're going to take Echo out of their lineup there.
But the Mute pick isn't unnatural at all for this map, and especially for a Laundry defense here. We normally see Mute jammers going down onto the top of the table where RDZ is right now, and that completely denies the hatch, right? And while it hasn't really been effective recently, considering you can bring a Maverick into the table, we don't see a Thatcher coming out from paiN Gaming at all. And if Classroom Wall is opened up, there's no way they can get the hatch open unless they destroy the Mute Jammers. Now, FK1 is going to be pretty essential to that strategy using the Twitch drones, but honestly, I'm already looking at the lineups here and I'm not confident in paiN Gaming at all. I'm assuming Classroom is going to get opened up now, and that should be effective as well, coming out from the smoke.
So we didn't see Dockerby in the previous map, as far as I know. They didn't bring her once in their attack, but they've also dropped Buck, which was such a big part. And GCR is instead rotated to Ash, so slightly different soft destruction, looking for those frags. You can still see Maestro setting up quite late. There is the evil eye overwatching those lovely washing machines, keeping that room a little bit safer. RDZ playing up in dorms, looking for any potential pick. You can see the drones coming around from 9, looking for that pick. RDZ is going to rotate actually slightly deeper into dorms there as well. GCR is slowly entering, clearing downstairs before heading up white stairs, trying to, again, just shut down a roam. And obviously, as you said, this map is a monster for roam and rotation. There's 2 drops of utility. They know someone's there, and the drone moves just ahead as RDZ opens up the frags against spawns as well.
But the refrags are going to come out. Nine is going to be able to get a double kill there for himself. Drinks and RDZ both going out of it. Beautiful roam play coming out from paiN Gaming. And even though the man of the hour spawns went down first, he was refragged, and whether you like it or not, the attackers actually came off better there, definitely. So we're going to see exactly how it is going to be going down as we see a 3v4 situation developing now. Not looking too good for Black Dragons to try and regain control of the map here. And they have lost quite a lot of roamers already.
For sure, and we can see FK slowly pushing through, meeting there, trying to cut across the Valk, who is currently in a little bit of a tight spot. They've got 2 underneath, but whether they fully know that the Valk is there or not, or how small is playing that, there comes the call though, and that will answer. You can see Revolta's drone heading up the stairs, and Small is about to find themselves in a very tight spot. Has the Nitro, can go for a frag, can go for a rotate if they need to across Attic. They have the option in the utility, but they're probably going to just try and hold it for as long as possible. Don't know if they actually saw the drone as GCR and the Habana of 9 head straight into point, dropping the Maestro. Small is in a little bit of a firefight here. Cannot rotate to go and back up the defenders downstairs.
Slash going to be holding on, but what a shot from Slash! Takes the head clean out of GCR. Spews his brains all across the laundry baskets there. As it's still a 3v3, looking much better for Blood Dragons to try and play this out. The Smoke's still going to be playing in laundry. No goes Smokes are going to start coming out from both sides now as the plant attempts to go down. Smoke is trying to smoke out here as Revolts does hop around and tries to see what he can do. As Nine's going to try and plant the diffuser down, but Smoke won't even realize what's going on, and it will start go down successfully. What shot from FK1? That's going to leave Smoke in a 1v2. Oh, but he can't find 2 kills. He finds 1, doesn't find 2. paiN Gaming take round number 1, but a little bit closer than you would have expected.
Sure, that was really, I mean, that's the slowest we've seen the attack. Obviously, they were holding those very big rotations, very big roams there with a lot of utility thrown down as well. We saw at least 2 mute jammers on either side in Big Tower and in dorms as well. The Jaegers were thrown up there as well. So it was interesting to see just, you know, how they're playing more aggressive. They're setting up these kind of satellite holds with a lot of utility, and well, it slowed down the push of paiN, but unfortunately was not enough just to stop them. They're going back to laundry and supply, bringing Maestro, Jaeger, Pulse, Mute, and Smoke. No Valkyries so far. Obviously, there's always the option of 6th pick. And again, the attackers, same lineup.
Talking about lineups, Blood Dragons have made a roster swap there. Levi has been swapped out for Globals. So it seems, I think, that Levi had some sort of game issues. So he's been traded out and hasn't helped Blood Dragons at all because they're still losing rounds. They've lost 7 rounds in a row now. So we'll see exactly how it is going to go down as we move into round number 2. And we'll see a fairly similar defense coming out from them. However, we're going to see Slash moving around onto the Pulse this time instead. So interesting strategies coming out from Black Dragon still. Let's see this go down as we move into round number 2 and see exactly how it is going to go through. But honestly, not looking good for the Blood Dragons at all. They're not adapting very well at all against what is inevitably being a very dominant performance so far from paiN Gaming. And yeah, it's just been really well played from them so far, pretty flawlessly. Great roam clear, which is pretty essential in Oregon. There's going to have to be some sneaky strategy moving out here for Blood Dragons, and I'm kind of surprised we don't see a Vigil coming out from them at all.
Yeah, that is true. That would be a very good kind of break in in just their hold that they're doing, and something to, again, slow down paiN, because where they've looked like they're going to actually start pulling some of this ground back against, obviously, their first floors, it's just when they've slowed down paiN. They've started to get utility. Obviously, they picked up the first frag, which I believe was the only time they've managed to do that over the 2 maps that we've gone through so far, over the 7 rounds. But, you know, it just wasn't enough. So they've got to start, well, how can we do more of that? How can we start pushing them back? And the instant FK gets RDZ. Now, well, it looks like FK is not wasting any time starting to push across towards Meeting. You can see they're closing down as well above on the other side.
Yeah, RDZ already down and out of it, and the Smoke is going to get Jekyll tracked as well. It's already a 5v4 situation, not looking too good at all here for Black Dragons, as GCR are going to be opening up onto the top of the Armory Corridor. And you see that Black Dragons have already lost complete map control, and we're only 1 minute into the game.
You know, we said they were doing it well in the previous round, and their response has been, after losing 1, is to pull more operators back. You can see already they've got Slash playing underneath with that heartbeat monitor. They're playing 4 down in that basement, whereas before they had so much more outside. They had so much more room, and you can see they're already putting pressure on the stairs. A minute 20 is left on the clock, but at the same point last time, they're taking a lot more damage before they started their push against the main point, whereas this is a full health, full stack, breaking down the doors and the roofs.
Yeah, you see all of paiN Gaming just stacked upon this laundry hatch, ready to go for this utility deploying. Spawns is going to drop some smoke grenades down. It's going to be the vertical drop coming out from 9 as he looks to go for the plant of the diffuser, but not in the same place he did last time. So a bit of adaptability coming out from paiN Gaming, despite the fact that they are winning. Small, however, is going to see through it, takes down Spawns, but oh, it's going to be FK1. He drops the hatch. He drops one, but he drops himself. Small gets a 2k out of it. And the plant is going to try and go down. Revolts does find the slash, and beautiful shot from GCR. Finds ahead of Globals, but it's going to be the plant goes denied. And it's all down to Small to try and keep it into his ball. I'll see how he does it as he tries to peek around onto supply closet. Does have a little bit of a reinforcer to cover him here. And tries to see if he can go for a little bit of a push. The revive is going to go down. He's going to get droned out as well. Pre-fire is going to come down. Small. He's got 20 seconds to deny this plant and do something, but GCR crouch peeks and Small just goes down. GCR takes it, and paiN Gaming take their 8th consecutive round in a row. Beautifully played from paiN Gaming so far, and just no adaptability coming out from Blood Dragons. Yep.
Yeah. If anything, it seemed like they fell back to strategies that just weren't working much for them. Obviously, the strongest they've looked over this 8th round of solid attack from paiN has been the previous round, where they were playing a bit more aggressively. They were playing a bit further away from point, and they were holding it. And they were putting stuff towards that hold as well. They were donating utility and trying their best to stop paiN closing down ground. And then they just go and pull it all back. They take everything back pretty much down to laundry and supply. The one roamer gets picked off very quickly, and that allowed all 5 of paiN to just throw utility down through that drop down through the stairs, and get that push in. And they didn't get the plant off, but as we've seen in the previous Flawless, they don't have to.
So it was kind of very stark difference to how NiP took these attacks, where they took it flawlessly as well. They did very, very well with their attacks, but they allowed the roam game to remain so that they could shut it down later on when the roam sort of flanks came in. But Black Dragons have just been forced off the roam completely, and they don't seem to be too well at dealing with the utility on the board, and I think a lot of it is coming down to the fact that there's no mirror.
Oh yeah, that's a fair shout for sure. Obviously, mirror is so powerful on this map, but at the same time, that's why Dorms became one of the most beloved first point spots, one of the most common now as your first hold. Obviously, it doesn't mean every team will argue whether it's the best or the worst, but they did the same mistake last time, where they try and hold on to a point and they lose it 2 or 3 times. Why not try something else? You need to start looking at ways you can shake up your defense. The more you fall back on yourself, the more this happens.
I'm interested to see why Electric Hatch has been opened up by Blood Dragons at all, but I would love to see now just that full construction rush just before anyone could do anything about it. Drunk still not opening up that Electric Hatch, but no one has pushed construction yet, so kind of getting away with that. But you're wondering why is it so essential to open up that Electric Hatch? You know, we haven't really seen it too much from Latin America teams so far today. Is that if you open that up, you can hold the construction rush from above, and you can kind of just stop it in its entirety. So the fact that it hasn't been opened up, but it is soft, because they could open it up at some point if they wanted to, and open up rotates, but they've not done so yet. paiN Gaming going to go for a fairly similar West main take. We've seen pretty much every round from them so far. We push all the way onto Armory Corridor. GCR getting quick control over this, and it's the active, but he doesn't see that Drunks is up there with him. And it's a very quick peek coming out, and the drone is going to spot him out. Of course, Drunks is going to get away with it. However, GCR are going to be opening up onto the top of Armory Corridor. 1 minute into the round, and still not a single kill, but some very close encounters.
Oh, it's unbelievable that they fed the information, but RDZ pulls out a beautiful return frag. FK gets RDZ in the trade, pushing through Kitchen underneath, but they obviously still have Addict. Drunks has rotated back through onto Tower, but this is exactly what we wanted to see from Black Dragons. We wanted to see them hold a bit aggressively. Somehow fires a heck of a lot of bullets into the shoulder of 9 there. 9 just over half health, worried about someone popping up from underneath on the stage, but Maestro has decided to rotate back out again. 9 looks a little bit panicked. This is the first time we're seeing paiN struggling to push against an aggressive hold, and Black Dragons are finding their groove. Spawns firing bullets into the unfortunate legs, downing Small and picking off Slash at the same time. There's FK with another one against Small, and it is now closing down.
Yeah, all the soft hatches are going to get opened up, but Drunk's still trying to find his way back onto the site. This could be Globals left alone here, trying to go for those peaks, but they know exactly where he is now. He's going to see through it, been able to take him down so far, and that is a whiffed remote gas grenade. That is unfortunate for him. Drunk's going to try and recover the situation here. Smokes are going to start going down. That's going to signal the push is starting to go through. Lots of utility coming through from both sides here. Drunks tries to return back up, but FK reads straight into it. Drunks goes down. Spawns takes down Globals, and paiN Gaming take round number 3. Still considering their flawless streak. Will we see a 12-0 here?
Well, that is 3 basements and 3 losses. And this was the round 4 where they rotated to a different one. And they are doing that again. They are going to Dorms and Dorms main hall. And as we said, when they are playing slightly off point is when they are putting paiN on the biggest back foot. They were getting frags from that hold. It was some brilliant retaking. Obviously, we saw the push from the bottom of tower, taking through the meeting right onto the stage, that wall, and getting 2 frags through there. But still, Drunks was alive. Maybe if they'd been a bit more aware, could have got the frag on that retake, on the rotate even. You know, they've got to start thinking outside their usual box. Jaeger, Doc, Valk, Pulse, and Smoke going to kids' dorms.
We might see a little bit of a mashup here now, a bit of a different approach here. It is a different site, and we've seen exactly what that can be possible with. We see the Doc for the first time in the series as well, coming out from RDZ. Maybe some little bit more frag potential coming out from Blood Dragons here, but they're really going to have to pull rabbit out of the bag here if they want to bring this in a little bit further to their advantage. They will move into the second half regardless of what happens in these next 2 rounds with a disadvantage. So we'll see exactly how that works out for them. But Black Dragons maybe need to play this a little bit more aggressively, but certainly need to start trading frags a little bit more. And that is something that's just been going horribly wrong for them.
10 seconds.
For sure. It's obviously, that is where they are struggling, but that is always, as we said, LATAM is so good, their frag game. It's impressive. It's always a marvel to see, and their games are often just described as electric. So seeing a team struggling to get any of these frags, obviously in the previous map, you can hear a lot of fires going off already. In the previous map, Spawns really showed off that frag game and really showed off the potential of how they can roll so powerfully through a map and through a team. We're just seeing paiN keep that trend. They are winning those trades. They are getting up there, and they're still keeping a lot of the utility as well for that final push. They're not throwing it away, picking off Romus. FK waiting and baiting for someone to peek the window. Just sees the shoulder, but unfortunately doesn't land any bullets, and they're going to rotate straight out of there. Bullets coming across from Armory as well. They are slowly and steadily trying to close down, and again someone goes past the window, and again no bullets managed to dig into the shoulders. That was 2 unfortunate misses there.
FK had 1 job there, and both times he was able to find the kill. That's disappointing coming out from paiN Gaming there, unable to find the refrag, and for the first time in a while, Black Dragons find themselves on a man advantage. Looking pretty good for them as we move further in. 1 minute down now, as lots of drones coming out from paiN Gaming to try and secure a little bit more roam game here. As looks like FK should be able to repel into Armory here, and he will be doing so, but RDZ! He just peeks it out and he takes him down, but it's going to be 9 who does refrag it. But that is a frag you can afford to lose. Wow, what a shot coming out from him, but wow, big plays indeed. Spawns is going to move on to highway window, as 9 looks to move on to the massive bedroom balcony instead. Just see he has a way out of there. This highway window is going to be holding down, but not a lot of utility, but the utility is going to come out from Black Dragons there. Small on the pulse from below does take out 9. That's the only hard breacher gone from paiN Gaming, and they're really going to have to find a few frags here if they want to bring it back. 1 minute left to go on the board here. Not looking too good for paiN to try and close this round out, but they still have spawns on the table, and as I say it, Slash just peeks highway window. Who does that? Slash just takes him down. It's going to be all down to Revolts, but he can't find a frag. He can't find an entrance, and Drunks takes him down all the way from flag. And that's going to be a beautiful round from Blood Dragons. Thus find their first round in nearly 10 rounds.
Well, it's not going to be a flawless. It's not going to be a flawless there. They take dorms. They changed it up, and it paid off. Now, whether paiN, they looked a little bit disjointed there, a little bit like they were resting. Obviously, we saw FK miss the 2 rotations. But unfortunately, it just didn't come through for them. Obviously, now they've got to move down to a different point, and they're opting to go back to Laundry and Supply. But whatever happens on this round, at least they will not be going into the half on match point, and that is a big, big psychological difference.
Yeah, sure, it definitely is. We're going to see a Laundry defense coming out yet again from Blood Dragons, as that objective rotation parameter being 2 means they cannot return to that kid's dorms. The dorms main hold defense for a little while now. In fact, unless we go into overtime, they will never be able to return to there. Let's move into round number 5 and see exactly how it's going to go down, but still looking pretty good for paiN Gaming and advantage-wise. And they've had flawless victories so far attacking this basement.
Yeah, there's really been the point that they love to take. Obviously, as you said, they are generally getting control of drop-downs. The strongest that we've seen Black Dragons on this point is when they're playing a fairly sturdy roam on the other side. They are generally watching across and they are throwing utility at it as well. But at the same time, you know, they're starting to shake it up. They won their first round over such a long period of time as well. We'll have to see if they can kind of bring that momentum with them and kind of translate that to what could be one of the best comebacks we ever did see. There was a map to do it. This is the one they've got to do it on. As you can see, the attackers start their push small, throwing some late lesions. You can see a lot of them spawn towards the southwest there, where they're going to try and take small office tower and move across. I know we've seen some great roam clear. They normally start going across dorms, sledge digging straight towards my smallers. Obviously, we've seen them throw operators up here before, but normally with a little bit of Mute and Jaeger to back them up. Obviously, they don't have the capabilities of Mute, which is a shame because the drone game from paiN has been pretty outstanding so far.
It has been pretty outstanding, and that has definitely been emphasized by the fact that they've had a great roam play. They pushed all the roamers out of the map entirely, and they've either killed them or forced them back onto the site, where they've had a brilliant execute on top of that. But on rounds where they are not able to find the roamers and not able to pick them as they rotate, have been rounds that they've lost. And we've only seen that once so far from paiN Gaming, but it's going to be a roamer of Small who finds the first kill of the round, but it's going to be instantly traded out. And yeah, we go. 9 is going to be able to finish him right on down. Does it to a 4v4 already. The Legion off the board, but FK is actually going to trade it out. Drunks does go down, but so does Globals, takes down FK. And it turns into a 3v3. So still keeping the scoreboard even just a little bit here as 9 moves into meeting hole here. But we see map control is now clearly into the hands of paiN Gaming. So looking pretty good for them so far to try and bring it in. Spawn's going to be opening up onto the top of Armory stairs there. We'll see exactly how it's going to go down. Looks like Habana charges are going to go out onto the hatch. But no Mute coming out from Black Dragons this time. That's disappointing to see, because if they had a Mute, that probably would have worked.
Especially as the two people that would very easily get rid of that Mute charges are off the board. The Twitch and the Thatcher both dropped. But luckily Habana could roll right through, get those drop downs. That's so vital. GCR gets RDZ though, and that is the man advantage now for the attackers. It is down to Maestro and Jaeger. Maestro, to be fair, if there's one of these operators that you'd like to have alive towards the end, giving your control and having those cameras feeding information, you can see him still sat inside cameras. Jaeger the only one playing eyes in the room. The zaps are coming off against GCR, slowing the push. And Jaeger is just waiting for them to turn that corner. 30 seconds left as they start to stack up. They're trying to find a way to dig against these two very deep. The diffuser is traded over, and Habana goes straight in 9. The grenade comes over, and Spawns gets slashed. It is now all down to Jaeger, who picks off 1. But 1 is not enough. GCR locking that off.
It was a noble attempt, but unfortunately able to not find any kills there right at the end. Globals will go down, and it's going to be Black Dragons who move into a fairly bad disadvantage here. It is 4-1 so far to paiN Gaming, looking incredible for them so far. And Revolts, he has his kill. That's all that's important.
It's all that's important. It's always sad to say, obviously. It's the best situation they could have, well, they have had so far pushing in. They took 1 round. They have 1 buffer of something to go wrong on their attack. And that's, don't get me wrong, it's doable, but it is a hard one, especially when you have come off being 6-0'd as well. paiN have looked decisive. They've been explosive. They've been every other word that ends in "iv" that complements their playstyle. And I'm excited to see, obviously, how that translates. Black Dragons, as you said before, they're going to have to pull a rabbit out of a bag. I believe you said. Rabbit out of the bag.
Rabbit out of the bag, indeed. We're going to move into round number 6, and we're going to see the first defense coming out from paiN Gaming. So far, I've had flawless defenses. Just the 1 defense they had on Armory. We'll see how it goes down for this particular one. Looks like we are going to see a fairly roam-heavy strategy. And I think sometimes you tend to see that teams play against themselves on their setup, right? That paiN Gaming have done a West main take almost every single round, and now they're setting up to fight a West main take. Expecting that from Black Dragons maybe, but maybe also kind of playing against themselves in a way. See lots of rotates being made up here, and it's exactly what I was talking about as well, is that a lot from Latin America, we see this kind of smoke roam strategy in Oregon, which I think in other regions people would say, you're bonkers, you've lost your mind, why are you putting smoke on the roam? But on Oregon, I think it works, honestly. I think with the amount of self-destruction and rotates you can actively make with smoke, it can work out quite well.
If there was a region to play an operator where most people say don't play an operator and pull it off, I would say that's LATAM. I think they're always, as a region goes, they are willing to try these out-of-the-box strategies, and they make them work. They make magic happen. So it's always exciting to see them do pushes like that. Now you can see the calls coming in. Spawn's obviously playing with a very open tower. They're wanting some picks, but they are going straight towards GCR now. The drones are coming in over the shoulders. Somehow they ring around the rosies, around the center unit. But that was an easy pick up there. RDZ with a knife against GCR. And you can see FK trying to get some bullets into the feet there. And the health of that Dockerby as she goes down. But Globals is not out. RDZ looking for the return frag through the floor. And Spawn's trying to open some holes as they rotate back around to point.
Yeah, FK is going to be able to rotate all the way down onto the white stairs, but unable to catch any of those frags. No refrag either for GCR's death. Completely wasted there, it seems, as Nine going to get fairly aggressive with it now, pushing all the way up to the top of the laundry stairs. The FK still playing around onto the kitchen to try and push it through onto bathroom, actually. It's just holding it all down. It's like Slash is actually going to go down. However, Nine still playing very aggressive onto that laundry stairs. The hatch is still not opened up, but Spawn's going to get killed into Drunks. Now DZ is going to knife out FK. However, Spawn's instantly traded out by Small. And that's a beautiful refrag coming out. Is going to give the advantage to Black Dragons here on the attack. Let's see if they can close it out. 1 minute left to go on the clock. And Nine still has all of his potential here. As looks like Thermites are going to go down. Finally, that hatch is going to get opened up. And paiN Gaming going to have to try and form it just a little bit. But, you know, Nine still has all of his utility here available. It's very easy for him to deny this plant now if he chooses to do so. 40 seconds left to go. We still have revolts on the table as well, with his Maestro cam being very nicely done there. Globals are going to draw him out, however. There's 30 seconds left to go on the clock. The execute has to come down now, and it's now or never. Smoke grenades are going to go out. The ADS does get burned, however. 20 seconds left to go on the clock. We'll see lots of smokes coming down, lots of utility coming out. See RDZ's Ash Charge that does manage to find the Maestro cam. It's going to deny decent amount of utility to paiN Gaming here. Let's see if they can make it count. 10 seconds left to go on the clock, and RDZ takes down Revolts. But another smoke comes out. That should deny the plant, but no, it doesn't. And 9 takes down RDZ, but the plant still is getting sticked here. Nine's going to have to find 2 and take down the diffuser, but he can't find 1. He does actually manage to trade out with Globals there, but the diffuser was down. And that is unfortunate indeed. And that's going to be the first plant for Blood Dragons, actually.
First plant, first attacking win, 4-2. The gap gets slightly narrower, and they find a little bit more hope to pull themselves into the third map here. Is, as I said, all uphill for them at this point, but the hill is not insurmountable. They have the ability, and they do have the time to pull it back. Now, we saw a couple of what seemed like a little bit of misplays. Obviously, it fell down to the smoke, who, as you said, still had full utility at that point, and also had a barbed wire, but I feel like that's less valuable in that kind of situation. As we go to dorms, we're going to rotate all the way back, all the way upstairs even, not back upstairs, upstairs. And we'll see if they can actually find a couple more frags that they seem to do so well at before paiN.
I mean, this was a pretty good defense coming out from Blood Dragons previously. It was their only successful defense, so maybe there's a lot to be said about this particular area, and there's no mirror is something you've got to remember here. And the fact that the laundry was attempted so many times, despite the fact that there was no mirror on the board, speaks volumes about the adaptability from Blood Dragons. But finally, they are starting to adapt. But I really think that laundry is just indefensible without a mirror.
It's much harder, that's for sure. And why they'd want to go there as the first one, I guess, you know, it's always interesting. But to be fair, we were just saying, if there's a strategy often deemed crazy and unplayable, let them find a way to make it work. And In the previous map, we saw, well, open being played on bank quite powerfully and in preference of going down to vault. So I don't know what the tricks they like to bring out their sleeve, and unfortunately there just wasn't enough tricks that time. So they've instantly gone, which was arguably the mistake that Black Dragons were making their defenses. They've gone, well, we've lost this. Let's try a different point. Let's not hang up on this. Let's pretend we run it. Let's rotate. Let's keep them guessing. We'll see if it plays off for paiN. Spawn's rotating up. Going to open the tower as aggressively as they had it open before. Hang around in the bottom, actually, and rotate down to bunker. You can see the drone coming out there from small as FK. It's just holding main entrance. But Drunks is looking for the roam clear with a Twitch drone.
He's going to be droning out with a Twitch drone indeed, but is going to get killed out very, very quickly. paiN Gaming is still going to be holding onto this roam indeed. As it looks like Small's going to come round onto that front door and try and cut off the rotation for FK. But we're still seeing pretty dominant control here from paiN Gaming so far. But there we go. Spawn's going to get the first kill of the round. All the way downstairs to get the first kill. Trying to find another here onto Drunks. He's trying to battle here Potter, but he's going to light each other up very, very nicely. And the Deagle is going to come out to try and secure the kill. But Drunks is just going to pull back onto the big tower. And just like, nope, I don't want this fight at all. It's just going to pull all the way back. But paiN Gaming looking pretty good now. RDC already off the board. The prefabs coming through from GCR. Does manage to successfully take Slash off the table. GCR takes him down with a headshot. And that's a 5v3. Drunks very, very lit up as well. Leisure Minds are going to go down from GCR. He's going to be peeking out fairly aggressively onto Globals. Just trying to hold it down to the hallway. He's going to peek it out. But always both going to get fairly lit up there. As moving into the second half of the round now, GCR is going to recognize that he's not in a good situation here, potentially making a rotate for himself, but also just making sure there's no one flanking through onto the meeting hole. But he will see one in the meeting hole there, and he just try and peek it out. Dokkaebi calls are going to go out to try and push it all out, but GCR with another kill takes out the Dokkaebi, and it's going to be GCR with a double kill. What? Drunks is out of it, and that's a beautiful 3K from GCR, and it's all into the hands of Small now. It's going to be go big or go home or go small in this case, as he will be pushing through onto highway window now to see what he can do here, but still convinced someone's rotating. I take a beautiful shot from Small, comes out, takes down 9 with a headshot, and he's got to find 4 more if he wants to bring this in. Trying to turn around a 1v5 into whatever he can make happen, but he's really got to find as many fights as he can. And with 30 seconds left to go and no flashbangs, it's going to be a hard ask from him indeed. Not looking too good at all. Looks like the rotates are going to come through from FK to see if he can, from Spawns, see if he can find a kill onto Attic there. Small does get very lit up. They know he's here. The pistol comes out. Everything just comes out utility-wise. There we go. FK jumps out of highway window, takes down Small with a headshot. No, not a headshot. Almost a headshot. Body shot.
Almost a headshot. The other thing you can shoot.
Yeah, the leg shot.
Well, that was paiN doing what paiN we know they have done before. They were being aggressive with their frags. They were getting the picks. We saw the beautiful takedown in Kitchen, obviously the double as well. That was what they were struggling to do in the previous round when they were holding basement. And now we are on to match point 5-2 to paiN, as we look like we're going for one more time, potentially down to Laundry. We'll see if paiN can pull the trick just to get that final round win. A lot of late second picks there, Black Dragons. They've got to obviously, this is where all the discussion would come. This is where you'd try and break down and try and come up with something new. Zafir and Maverick are what's new. Although I say that as Maverick is 6th pick to Twitch again. They're not going to change up too much, apparently. They want to try and make it work.
Interesting that RDZ this time is going to be the one playing onto the Twitch rather than Drunks. But we're going to see how exactly it's going to go down. It's paiN Gaming, again, attempt this laundry room defense. That last time wasn't successful for them, hasn't been successful at all for Black Dragons.
Attackers need to locate and
but
bombs.
Even if they lose this defense, even if they lose the next defense, they still have rounds to play with here. They have 3 rounds to play with. So they can lose this one, they can lose the next one, and they can go back up to Kid Storms. It's looking unlikely that Black Dragons will be able to secure a win for themselves here, but hopefully should be able to potentially bring this into overtime, because honestly, the laundry defense has been almost impossible for both of these teams, and I still, again, want to chalk it up to the mirror. I mean, I know it's not impossible to defend that laundry without a mirror, but it's very, very difficult to do so. Without a clash on the table either, you're really relying on the utility coming out from smoke, and potentially from an Echo if it was on the table. We haven't really seen an Echo at all from either team.
No, that's the thing. Obviously, you always want adaptability in your team. You always want to be able to, well, if this hasn't worked, what can we try to, what can we change to? Obviously, we've seen that they're bringing RDZ on the Twitch instead now, but at the same time, probably have to start thinking out of the box. They're Drunks instantly getting some bullets in as they enter, and it's just going to hard enter, not even going to slow down. Rolls straight through on a point and picks up a frag there. 9 as well, drops Drunks, and you just think, why did they push that aggressively? I mean, to be fair, we said trying something different. You can see Hibana opening up into bunker, trying to get straight through. They're wasting no time. They're trying to cut through this roam game from paiN, but it just hasn't worked.
Honestly, there's no barbed wire there, and it would have worked out beautifully for Drunks if Spawns hadn't spotted him moving into the front door and lit him up. If he hadn't done that, then they wouldn't know to expect that. But yeah, big misplays coming out from paiN Gaming to not set up correctly with no barbed wire. And Small is going to take out 9 with a nice head. I really want people to start getting headshots here. That's why I'm so on it. But it's going to be Small who just moved through into Electric very nicely with his entry frag. Uses it to support himself. He starts to move in. Maestro knows that he's there. Spawns takes down RDZ, but the Maestro revolts. Takes down Small with a nice headshot this time. It's going to be Globals who moves in all alone, but it's going to be FK1 who finds the headshot. Doesn't find a headshot. I need to stop it. No one is headshotting anyone. He just finds the body shot successfully into Globals, and it finishes off the game there with a 6-2 win for paiN Gaming. And something I want to say about that game, out with the 14 rounds played, only 4 of them saw a diffuser plank going down.
Yeah, that was pure Ladam, pure frags, and pure teamwork there as we watched those guys push across. And paiN, obviously, they showed up last time at the last OGA pit, and they showed up again. They were unbeatable on the first map, and they were solid on the second. And it is they're bringing it. They're looking towards that prize pool. They're looking towards pushing across it. They don't want to mess around with that lower bracket this time. They're going for that top bracket.
Yeah, so that you can see what the results of today have been. Both 2-0 results, pretty good performances coming up from Ninja Pajamas and paiN Gaming, are going to see them face off in the semifinals in the upper bracket. And the winner of that game will actually guarantee themselves a 3rd place, which is guarantee themselves a cash prize. So pretty good for whoever wins that one. Indeed, the losers round 1 will be later this week as well, with Team 1 Esports take on Black Dragons. On Thursday, we will have Team Liquid take on FaZe Clan and Bootcamp Gaming take on Immortals for our next couple of quarterfinals. We're not going to be here tomorrow, unfortunately, because, of course, it is the Latin America Pro League, which will be pretty good indeed to watch. I'm sure we'll all be watching, so it should be pretty good for them indeed. And in fact, actually, FaZe and Liquid are playing tomorrow.
FaZe and Liquid are playing tomorrow, so we'll see, obviously, whether that changes their decision on that they make on Thursday, or whether they... I don't know. It's exciting. That's one of the matchups. That's always one of the most exciting matchups to see. It was one of the most exciting last time. It's going to be good. But Immortals as well. Obviously, they are, I would say, a reformed squad from the last time they attempted this. They went out a bit quickly, unfortunately, last time, but they are storming Pro League at the minute. So it'll be exciting to see how they handle this tournament with best of 3s as well.
Anyway, that has been all from us for tonight. Don't forget to give us a follow here and on social media. I've been your host and caster, James Sterner Parkinson, and joining me has been the beautiful William Fluke Harrelson. We'll see you on Thursday for our next play day. Until then, have fun. Goodbye.
Bye.